What's going on, everybody? It is your boy Dylan Mathews live in the Key Studios, bringing you the hometown take. I am your host, of course, Dylan Mathews, taking you all the way up till 7 o'clock tonight. We are, of course, going to talk about the Dogs as halftime is just about to roll around. And I thought the catastrophic collapse on defense I thought there was supposed to be a collapse. What's going on? I don't see it. I'm not seeing the collapse. I thought the defense was going to be a lot worse. I thought they lost so much talent. This, that, the third. We're doing okay so far. Not a bad start. 28-3 going into the half. And offenses look good. Defense has 2 turnovers. Stetson Bennett just scrambled around, bought a lot of time to find Ladd McConkey in the end zone on that last Dogs touchdown. So, Dogs rolling right along. Hopefully, we can get your thoughts on the Georgia Bulldogs. And actually, if you want to give some quick halftime thoughts on the Dogs, or you're riding in your car right now listening in, I appreciate you. If you want to give some quick halftime thoughts, we'll open up the phone lines right now, 404-741-0929. You can give some halftime thoughts on the Dogs in this first segment if you like. But I like what I've seen so far, and it's been what I expected. So I guess instead of not giving up any ground and allowing 7 points a game, maybe the collapse is allowing a first down here or there on drives before you force a punt or get a turnover, and maybe allow 10 points a game. Maybe that's the collapse people were talking about, and I just misunderstood. We'll see. We got plenty of Dogs talk coming your way here through the next 2 hours. Also, we're going to talk about the Atlanta Braves as they get going later on this evening, 7:20 first pitch, as they try to take game 2 in this 3-game set against the Miami Marlins. I also want to talk about if Spencer Strider needs to be a starter or if he needs to come out of the bullpen for the Atlanta Braves when it comes time for the postseason. There's been a lot of debate about that. If you were just listening to the other side of the glass, Bo, Chris, and I were just talking about where we all think he belongs. I didn't give my take on it yet. You'll get it at 5:40. But I think there is a conversation. And I don't think it's a clear answer either. I will tell you that now. But more on that at 5:40. We'll go around the A at 6 o'clock. Of course, give you an update on where the Georgia Bulldogs stand in their game, their kickoff game against the Oregon Ducks. Right now, it's looking like that game could be out of hand by 6 o'clock. We'll see. Touched on the Atlanta Braves. Bryce Elder taking the spot of Jake Odorizzi. Odorizzi, a late scratch. We'll get more into that at 6 o'clock when we go around the 8. Also talk about Atlanta United a little bit as they try to bounce back from their tough loss against the Philadelphia Union on Wednesday night. This game is important for Atlanta United. This match is important, but it doesn't have too much bearing on their playoff standings other than they obviously need the points, but that's with the rest of these games and every game of the season. But as far as head-to-head matchups and games in hand and things of that nature, this game doesn't have too much bearing on Atlanta United's playoff chances and hopes. And then also, too, I want to have a little fun tonight. It's a Saturday evening. We're watching the game. It's a holiday weekend. I want to have a little fun with you guys. What is your record prediction for the Atlanta Falcons this season? We'll get into that in the next segment. Also, if we got time, we'll talk about that at 6:20 as well. Also, depending on where the UGA game is at, we'll let you react as well. We'll open up the phone lines completely. We'll open up the floodgates and let you react to what was the Chick-fil-A kickoff game between the Georgia Bulldogs and the Oregon Ducks. But they still have 1 second here in the first half, so we'll see how this ends, if Oregon's going to draw anything up here. And then, of course, you can start sending in your questions now. Grillin' Dylan at 6:40. It can be about anything. You can ask me questions about what you see or what you will see as far as Georgia-Oregon goes. You can ask me about the Atlanta Braves. You can ask me about the Hawks, Atlanta United, Life, the Falcons. It doesn't matter. Whatever you want to talk about at 640, we will do that with Grillin' Dylan. But I do have some thoughts so far as we, again, round out the first half of Georgia versus Oregon. I do have some thoughts I want to get into here in the first segment. And I already touched on one. Again, I haven't seen the fall off. And again, great defense there to end the half. But this fall off that was supposedly supposed to happen to Georgia, that could keep them out of the college football playoff and all the other things I've heard, I'm not seeing it yet. Maybe it's to come. Maybe it'll happen when they get in SEC play. I don't know, but I'm surely seeing a dominant football team right now in the Georgia Bulldogs. So I don't know what people were thinking that thought Georgia was going to be any different. I think most sensible people knew that they were still going to be competitive. But, I mean, this talk about they're not going to be in the college football playoff, this, that, and third. And then, again, things can still happen. And they do have a tough road to the college football playoff. But even if, let's just play out this scenario, moving way, way ahead. Let's say Georgia takes care of all of their business in the regular season. You make it to the SEC championship game. Even if you lose the SEC championship game to an Alabama, and that is your only loss, we've seen you're going to get in. You're still going to be in the college football playoff. So I don't see how a lot of these national pundits, talking heads, and guys who talk in front of a microphone like me can say that UGA isn't a favorite to be back in the college football playoff. Maybe they'll say it now that they're seeing that there's performance from UGA. But again, apparently there's supposed to be a fall off. I haven't seen it yet. As far as what I have seen in this game, though, Todd Monken is showing some nice wrinkles on the offense. We've seen the Bulldogs score on like 2 jet sweep type of plays. Stetson Bennett's legs are working. We knew he could do that. Main reason why he got the nod last season over JT Daniels, because of his mobility, because of what he could do with his legs. He's making some nice throws too as well. I think I heard them say on the broadcast that he already had in the first half, I think it was 4 20-plus yard passes to 4 different receivers. I think I have that right. You guys will correct me if I'm wrong, so that's okay. And about Stetson Bennett passing the ball, I know we all want to see Todd Monken and Stetson Bennett. I know we want to see that offense throw it all over the yard, throw it up and down the field. I get all that. And I would like to see that too, because I think that's an important part to Georgia being successful this season. They're going to have to be dynamic, not only in the run game, but in the passing game as well. However, on the other side of that token, if these teams can't stop the run, then what do you need to throw it all around for? You got to make you have to make these defenses stop the run first, because if they can't stop the run, why do you need to throw it? Why do you need to put the ball in harm's way? If you can get a guaranteed first down on running the ball, just run the ball. Make them stop the run first. And Oregon hasn't done a great job of stopping the run thus far. Obviously, it's 28-3. So if Georgia can keep up this style of running game, which, again, all due respect to Oregon, but we're not in SEC play yet. I'm just going to outright say it. There's no way to sugarcoat it. We're not in SEC play yet. SEC, once you start playing, the Kentuckys and, those teams of the world, they'll do a little bit better job of stopping the run, and then we'll see how much Stetson really needs to be able to throw the ball around. But as long as Georgia can run the ball, you don't need to put the ball in harm's way and have to throw it all around and connect on these deep shots. Now, it's nice if you can do both. You want to obviously be able to do both and not have your offense be one-dimensional. But, again, make the defense stop the run first. I am also really, really impressed with true freshman Malachi Starks. He is playing some textbook cornerback out there so far in the first half. I mean, just watch the interception. He played that perfectly. That is how, like, a coach would show a young guy film and be like, this is what you need to look like when you're playing cornerback. Caught up to the receiver, turned his head around, played the ball, and made a play on the ball. I heard them say in the broadcast that it wasn't a bad throw and it wasn't a bad route necessarily from Oregon, on Oregon's side, but it was just a great play by Malachi Starks, and it was. So really been impressed with him. Ladd McConkey, too. Low-key, but also high-key shifty. He's breaking some ankles out there. When he almost had, he's got 2 touchdowns now. That's how they got their last touchdown to make it 28-3. But on that one pass play where he almost got the second touchdown the first time, he willed his way to a touchdown. He made a few guys on Oregon miss. So Ladd McConkey showing off the shifty moves. And again, Stetson Bennett doing his thing. Making the right throws, making good reads. There was one play where he hit, it was Brock Bowers. And there was another back, I think it was a back or a receiver coming from the opposite side of the field. He had a lot of daylight out there to the left side of the field. But he waited for the play to develop, and he hit Brock Bowers on the post route. And probably ended up getting more yardage because if you look at the second angle, there was, I believe the safety was watching that receiver in the backfield the whole way. So he could have closed on him fairly quickly. But initially, that receiver out of the backfield came open right away. So that's a testament to Stetson Bennett making good reads, letting the play develop, and making the right decision as well. So good decision-making thus far by Stetson Bennett, doing the thing with his feet as well. We all know he can scramble. We all know he can buy his time, and he's been doing that as well. So all cylinders clicking for the Georgia Bulldogs, to say the least. So I'm liking what I'm seeing so far. It is halftime, 28-3. We will keep you updated as we move on throughout the program. It is the Hometown Take on Sports Radio 92.9 The Game. Dylan Mathews, your host. You can follow me at _Dylan Mathews on the Twitter machine, if you so please. Also, make sure you follow the radio station at 929 The Game on all social media platforms as well. Shout out to Steven Gagliano, back behind the glass. He had to do a little fill-in work today. The initial producer, Colin Sturcio, he wasn't feeling too well. Hopefully he feels better. But shout out to Steven for coming in clutch and coming out of the bullpen and being ready. So there you go. there. And because you wear many hats too, Steven, that's one thing about this industry. You got to be able to do multiple things. Steven, you hear him during the week giving updates. Come on, Steven, you got to give yourself more credit than that. You do multiple things at a high level, man. One of the best in the business, Steven Gagliano. So thanks for hanging out with me as well, Steven. Thank you guys and gals, and then whoever's listening, for hanging out with me here on Sports Radio 92.9 The Game and the Hometown Take. Coming up next, where are the Atlanta Falcons going to finish the season? What will their record be? Let's open up the phone lines. We're going to put a Twitter poll out as well. Do you think it's 4 wins, 5 wins, 6 wins, maybe even 7? 404-741-0929. You can call us up. Solomon Brothers Diamond text line as well. Where do the Falcons finish? What is their record? I want to hear from you. You can call me up right now, text me, tweet me, whatever you want to do. Let's talk about it. The Falcons' record in 2022. What will it be? Let's get into it next year on Sports Radio 92.9 The Game.
Sports Radio 92.9 The Game.
What up, live? We in here. What's up, Wallace? Starks is playing corner, Wallace. Yeah, they ain't trying to handle the tight ends. Number 0, they can't guard that boy right there. But yeah, Stetson Bennett. I don't know why they still hating. And I expect them to finish. I expect them to be back in college football playoff. Wallace says he think the Falcons finish 10-7. I would like that. That's a major overachievement if they finish there. Appreciate y'all guys tuning in. Y'all can drop y'all Falcons record predictions if y'all got them in the comments down below.
Shop everything you need today in store or online at Dick's.com and get your gear fast with free curbside pickup. Every season starts at Dick's. Terms and conditions apply. See Dick's.com for details. They're coming, Atlanta. Are you going to be ready?
I doubt we'll get any callers, but if we do, you can just tell me in my ear. All right, cool.
Today's team can secure yours when it arrives. Shop our incredible inventory of 4 Blue Advantage certified premium vehicles for every budget. And now is the best time to
yeah, there's like a weird thing. Like you have to get like Mike to fix the settings or whatever. Yeah, like because I still have to do that. That's why like when I come in for Chucker, I ask Chris to just stay logged in because yeah, it's a weird thing with like I don't know how to explain it exactly. But yeah. Yeah. Okay. Oh no, it won't mess you up. Yeah. Oh, matter of fact, I'm gonna come show you that too. I'll wait till next segment. All right.
Entertainment is a distraction that keeps us from paying attention to what's most important. Ask yourself, how much time do you devote to entertainment? Do you think it's possible to have too much of a good thing, especially when that thing isn't the main thing? And what is the main thing? The Bible teaches that you and I were made to know God and make Him known. That's the main thing. The goal of life is not to be entertained, but to enjoy fellowship with God through His Son Jesus. This is Brian Rock, speaking right from my heart.
For devotions, visit rightfromtheheart.org.
You have 3 ex-wives and your current trophy wife wants a life insurance policy 3 times the size of the policies you had to purchase for your previous mistakes? If so, you need to call Big Lou at Term Provider, 800-200-1966. Big Lou is intimately familiar with your problems, and if you're 50 or 60 years old and in reasonably good health, a $1 million policy should only cost about $100 to $200 per month. Big Lou may have a solution for your previous policies as well. You may even save enough money to lighten the load on your new $1 million policy. Remember, call Big Lou. He's like you. Except he's only on number 2. Call Term Provider at 800-200-1966. That's 800-200-1966 for $1 million in term life insurance that you can live with. Call Big Lou at 800-200-1966. 800-200-1966.
Sports Radio 92.9 The Game Studios, driven by Kia and the official sponsor of the Atlanta Falcons Radio Network.
Now, local businesses can get closer to every customer in their city with fast, affordable shipping. Introducing USPS Connect Local. You want speed? We deliver same or next day. You want savings? We give you supplies at a flat rate. You want less legwork? We do free pickups. Move your local business forward with the United States Postal Service. Let's connect at USPSConnect.com/local. Specific markets, restrictions apply. Same day or next day delivery expected, but not guaranteed with entry close to final destination.
If you work remote, Staples has you covered.
Stylish office decor to turn my finished basement into a complete workspace solution.
Staples has you covered.
A desk that's all business, but not too businessy.
Staples has you covered. And now at Staples, take up to 50% off select chairs and up to 75% off select desks. Plus, with 25% off Staples furniture support, we'll assemble your new furniture and guarantee it against wear and defects. Explore solutions for your remote workspace at Staples. Ends 9/30 in store only.
Taking a look at the top local sports stories with the Hometown Tape
On Sports Radio 92.9 The Game.
Sports Radio 92.9 The Game, the Hometown Take here, live in the Kia Studios. Dylan Mathews taking you all the way up until 7 o'clock. Should be at the end, probably if nothing crazy happens, should be pretty much over in over there at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. The game should be over right before we go off air, maybe a segment or two before we go off air. So I'm hoping to be able to get you guys' reactions to the game as right before we go off. We'll do Grill and Dylan too. Make sure you send your questions in at _Dylan Mathews. You can tweet at me. We'll also open up the phone lines 404-741-0929. That is the phone line and the Solomon Brothers Diamond text line as well for your Grill and Dylan questions. Also, make sure you follow the radio station at 929 The Game on all social media platforms. And make sure you follow myself at _Dylan Mathews on Twitter as well. At halftime in Mercedes-Benz Stadium, speaking of Mercedes-Benz Stadium, 28-3, the halftime score between the Georgia Bulldogs and the Oregon Ducks. We'll keep you updated as we move along. But right now, I want to talk about the Atlanta Falcons. Yeah, good. There you go, Steven. Yeah, no, I mean, what's with we got a whole bunch. And it's because the score is 28-3. I know, but Chris brought up 28-3. Steven, now you brought up 28-3. This is different, okay? This is different. It's gonna be different. Don't bring up 28-3 again. I'm tired of it. Nah, but it is 28-3 in Mercedes-Benz Stadium, but not including the Atlanta Falcons. So hopefully, fingers crossed, the lead will be safe. We'll be okay, and we won't have to go through that hurt again, Falcons fans and Georgia fans. But I do want to talk about the Atlanta Falcons because I think there is a threshold, and I think there's an area that the Atlanta Falcons should be shooting for when it comes to win totals. Now, obviously, the Atlanta Falcons are going to go out there and try to win every game. And, they're going to compete for a Super Bowl because, that's what professional NFL teams do. That's what coaches, players, staff, all those guys and gals get paid to do. They get paid to go out there and try and win and try to put the best product on the field. However, we're going to be realistic. We know the Atlanta Falcons probably not competing for a playoff spot this year unless they really, really surprise us. So, what does make a good season for the Atlanta Falcons? What would we consider a good season for the Atlanta Falcons when it comes to number of wins? Because we can all say, just see improvement, see young guys develop, and that's all true. And I'm not discrediting any of that because that is all true. However, what is the number? For me, I think it's somewhere between 4 and 6 wins. You get somewhere between 4 and 6 wins, then I call it a productive season. Because this is a tough schedule. Obviously, we all know a week from tomorrow, 1 o'clock, you're starting with the New Orleans Aints. And yes, I'm saying the Aints, and I will continue to say the Aints because it is hate. We get an extra week of hate week. So it's hate week this week, and it's hate week next week. So I'm calling them the Aints for these next 2 weeks, or, I guess it's technically only 8 days now, whatever you want to call it. But you get what I'm saying. So we got the New Orleans Saints. They will be a good team. Jameis will be back. He can see out of both eyes now. He's got a repaired ACL. He should be good to go, maybe. We all know about that defense. Cam Jordan. They did trade, though. Chauncey Gardner. I forget his whole name. Chauncey Johnson. Yeah, thank you, Steven. Right. I knew it was 3 names. I just couldn't remember in what order they came. Chauncey Gardner Johnson. Thank you, Steven. They did trade him to the Philadelphia Eagles. Good pickup for the Eagles. Not so great thing for the New Orleans Saints. So the defense still, though, even with the loss of Chauncey Gardner Johnson, still a very good defense. That is what's going to carry them this season. That's a tough matchup. It is at home, though, so that does help. But it will be a tough matchup. Then you travel to L.A. and go against the Rams. You stay out west and go against the Seahawks. Then week 4 against the Cleveland Browns. I know Deshaun Watson isn't playing, but that is still a tough game because you got to face Myles Garrett. You got to face that tough defensive line. Tough defense overall. You got to face Nick Chubb. They have Amari Cooper. And again, I know Deshaun Watson isn't there. And, you might say, but Dylan, who's throwing to him? I understand. But Jacoby Brissett, he's not necessarily a slouch. He's not a bad quarterback. He's an average quarterback. And if that defensive line of the Atlanta Falcons doesn't put pressure on Jacoby Brissett, he can still take advantage of certain situations and certain matchups. So 5 tough games, out really 6. I mean, this is a tough schedule. To go through it, Saints, Rams, Seahawks, Browns, Buccaneers, 49ers, Bengals, Panthers. Panthers is your really first, okay, well, I lied, the Seahawks, because it's Geno Smith time in Seattle, and we kind of know how that goes, time in and time out. So You have 2 tough games to start out. You have a little bit of a downer game with the Seahawks. The Browns game to me is still going to be tough. I know they don't have Deshaun Watson. That's still a tough game to me. Then you got the Bucs, the 49ers, the Bengals, and then you have another easier game with the Carolina Panthers. And that game could be tough because you don't know what you have in Baker Mayfield. You don't know what product you're going to get from him. And if Baker Mayfield wakes up that day and decides, I'm feeling dangerous, you never know what you're going to get out of him. Yeah, well, I know. You know. So if Baker Mayfield decides to wake up again Sunday morning before he plays the Atlanta Falcons and says, you know what, I think I'm feeling dangerous again. We saw how that ends. So Baker Mayfield it depends on what Baker Mayfield we get. If we get the I'm feeling dangerous Baker Mayfield, then we could have a handful against the Carolina Panthers. If we get a Baker Mayfield that, decides to throw us the ball a couple times, that could be an easier game for us. So that's kind of a toss-up game week 8 against the Carolina Panthers. Then you got the Chargers. That's going to be tough. Now, it is in Mercedes-Benz, so that helps. But the Chargers are a Super Bowl contending team. They have a complete team. Justin Herbert, Keenan Allen, Austin Eckler, Mike Williams. That's just on the offensive end. That's not even on the offense. They have a good offensive line, too. And then on defense, Khalil Mack, Joey Bosa. They got J.C. Jackson from the New England Patriots. They are a complete football team. Then you got the Panthers again. Again, we'll see. We'll see what Baker we get. And depending on how Baker plays, we might see Sam Darnold. Then the Chicago Bears, Washington Commanders. Commanders, again, depends on what Carson Wentz we get. Steelers, Kenny Pickett, or Mitchell Trubisky. That kind of depends on that. New Orleans Saints, that'll be tough. Ravens, that'll be tough. Cardinals, tough. Tampa Bay Buccaneers to close out the season, that's going to be tough. So you don't really have any gimme games on this schedule like you did last year, and that's the point. If this team with this schedule finds a way to rack up between 4 and 6 wins, I think we're doing something right. Because even if your 4 wins are the Carolina Panthers, the Chicago Bears, the Washington Commanders, the Pittsburgh Steelers, maybe you split against the Aints. You beat some quality football teams. And if you get another one against the Seattle Seahawks, the Seahawks game is truly the only gimme game, I believe, the Atlanta Falcons have. And that's still a tough game because you have to go out to Seattle right after facing the Los Angeles Rams. So this is one of the tougher schedules in the NFL. And if you rack up 4 to 6 wins, you're doing something right. That means you've developed some guys well. Some guys are showing you some good things. Marcus Mariota, maybe Desmond Ridder, depending on how things play out. They're showing you some good things. So I think if this Atlanta Falcons football team finds a way to rattle off 4 to 6 wins, then we'll be okay. And there's Ladd McConkey getting shifty again as we start the third quarter in Mercedes-Benz Stadium. He gets a big game. But what do you guys think? 404-741-0929 is the phone line in the Solomon Brothers Diamond text line at _ Dylan Mathews. You can tweet me your Atlanta Falcons predictions as well. But again, 4 wins is not where you obviously want to be this season. And again, that's the lower end for me. I think we should get 4 wins at least. But if you get 5, 6, if you get past 6, then you're overachieving. And this Falcons team could be really, really good way before we expect it. If you get anything past 6. And even 6, I would say, okay, we've got some stuff cooking if we got 6 wins against this schedule. Because let's think about where the wins will come from. Probably, if you're getting 4, 5, 6 wins, you probably beat Seattle. You probably beat Carolina once, maybe twice. You probably beat the Bears, the Commanders, Steelers. That's the easiest stretch of the schedule where you got Bears, Commanders, Steelers. So if you rattle off, again, 6 wins, because, again, Seattle, let's say we split with Carolina. That's 2. Seattle, Carolina. You get the Bears, that's 3. Commanders, that's 4. Steelers, that's 5. Those are some quality football teams you're beating. Some young ones, but some quality football teams. We got Josh, who's calling from Cartersville. He wants to give an Atlanta Falcons record prediction. Josh, what you got, man? I'm doing good, man. What you got? Right. Mm-hmm. Okay. I appreciate the phone call, Josh. Thank you for calling from Cartersville. And Josh does make a very good point. It is going to come down to this offensive line and defensive line. There is no doubt about that. Because the thing about this offensive line, I don't think it's really been tested yet. And what I mean by that is you move the ball well in your preseason games. The first team offense did. And I know they're going to scheme up to where, Mariota's going to be mobile. He's going to get out of the pocket. They're going to run a lot of bootlegs. And Georgia just scored again. Yep, but there's a fall off, though. It's about to be 35-3, but there's a fall off. Okay. Anywho, the offensive line has not been tested yet for the Atlanta Falcons. You saw Aiden Hutchinson in the preseason, and we saw how that went against Jake Mathews. Mind you, I will give Jake Mathews this. That was the first snap in this 2022 season, and the first snap in the preseason. So I'll give Jake Mathews that. But this offensive line did not see Joey Bosa during the preseason. They didn't see Nick Bosa during the preseason. They didn't see TJ Watt. They didn't see Myles Garrett. They didn't see Trey Hendrickson. They didn't see Cam Jordan. So I want to see how the offensive line looks against those guys. And again, I know they're going to be schemed up. Mariota's going to be rolling out bootleg, all that stuff. So there are things in place to neutralize that. But they haven't quite been tested yet. And again, that's why if you get 4, 5, 6 wins against these quality defenses, these quality football teams overall, I think it says something. All right, we got a special treat. We got Mel calling from Southwest Atlanta. Mel, what's on your mind, man? How you feeling about the Atlanta Falcons? What's your record prediction for this year? Uh-huh. Yeah, I agree. No, that's true. Mm-hmm. All right, I'm gonna give you. What's the number, Mel? You got a number? I just want to know the number that you got in your head. If you had to give me a number, what number are you giving me? Oh, what? How do they not look good? What don't they look good? How, Mel? Well, how, Mel, okay. Mel, Like, are you saying not? Okay, when you say not another national championship, you don't mean like ever? You don't mean like ever, do you? Huh? Mel. I'm looking at the game. It's 35-3, Mel. Hold on. No, Mel. You're not getting off that easy, Mel. Hold on. Mel, is he still there? Mel, hey. See? He didn't want the heat. He came in and he rattled off this nonsense, and he didn't want the heat. I had a rebuttal. Mel, I hope you're listening. I'm definitely still going to give it because Mel not getting off that easy. I'm putting the Falcons aside because he said this nonsense about Georgia. What do you mean the running backs don't look good, Mel? Kendall Milton just rushed for a touchdown. Let me go see how many rushing yards we have. Goodness gracious. Mel done got me fired up this evening. Let's see how many rushing yards the Georgia Bulldogs have. They have 78. Thank you. Stetson Bennett's been slinging it. He's 21 for 25, 299 yards and a touchdown already in the third quarter just started. We've got 78. We got 78 rushing yards. Kendall Milton's got 5 carries for 38 yards and a touchdown. Kenny McIntosh, 7 receptions, 87 yards, and that's a running back who's got that many receiving yards. They can't guard that. They can't even tackle that McConkey. They can't control Brock Bowers. And the defense already has 2 turnovers. They had 2 turnovers in the first half, 2 interceptions. And one was a great show. Malachi Starks showed off his great ball skills on that first interception. The second one, I'll give you, was a bad throw by Bo Nix. But we still had to make a play. We still had to catch the ball. Come on, Mel. You can't do that, man. Talking about Georgia don't look good. You lucky we got to go to break. We're going to talk about the Dogs more. But coming up next, I do want to get into some Atlanta Braves conversation. What should be Spencer Strider's role for the Braves in the postseason? Should he be a starter? Should he come out of the bullpen? We'll talk about that next. It is the Hometown Take on Sports Radio 92.9 The Game. Dylan Mathews rolling with you until 7 o'clock. Make sure you stay locked in right here. Sports Radio 92.9 The Game and the Odyssey app.
$6 million prize. Listen wherever you get your podcasts.
With the Kroger Plus card, it's easy to get lower than low prices, which adds up to big savings for the win. You also earn fuel points on every purchase, which means you win big at the pump. The Kroger Plus card, all you do is win big, big savings. Sign up now at Kroger.com and start saving. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Savings can vary by state. No restrictions apply.
Right now, pick up sizzling savings on tender US
47.93.
Just $6.99 a pound in the family pack with your card and digital coupon. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
You've been looking for a simple hair loss solution that works. Then listen up. It's Carlton's Advanced Hair Restoration has officially opened one of their world-renowned state-of-the-art facilities right here in Atlanta. The team and technology behind the Advanced FUE, the groundbreaking hair loss treatment that's changed tens of thousands of lives, is now in our backyard. Advanced Hair, simple one-day treatment begins regrowing your own natural hair the very next day, and it's backed by their industry-leading guarantee. It works for bald spots, receding hairlines, thinning hair, men, women, younger, and of course, wiser. Celebrate Advanced Hair's Atlanta's grand opening with 250 free hair grafts and $250 off. Find out if you qualify with your free consultation at 470-660-HAIR. That's 470-660-4247. Or simply go to advancedhair.com.
At Georgia Power, we're investing in infrastructure to ensure a more resilient power grid, creating a balanced mix of hydro, solar, and nuclear energy, and installing high-speed EV charging stations across the state, all while providing the highest level of customer service and satisfaction. Because we know that the carbon-free energy Georgia needs
How much time?
tomorrow will come from the tireless energy we put
Okay, I was gonna see if. Okay, I was asking just because I was gonna go in there and show you the thing real quick. It only take like a couple seconds, but I'll make sure I do it at next break. All right, cool. Okay, yeah, I'll take it. You said Bobby and Jefferson and Steve in Atlanta? All right, thanks.
Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-418-3132 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-418-3132. That's 800-418-3132. What do you have to lose? Call 800-418-3132. Again, 800-418-3132.
It's the summer of performance, and Acura Precision Certified vehicles are more affordable than ever with 1.99% APR on select 2017 through 2022 Acura models. Plus, you're overpaying for trades. Right now, GeorgiaAcuraDeals.com.
Straight Talk Wireless knows there are plenty of reasons you might need a new phone. But switching to a better wireless provider doesn't have to be one of them. Keep your own phone and save when you switch to any Straight Talk Wireless plan, like our $45 Silver Unlimited plan with unlimited high-speed data and 5 gigs of hotspot, plus nationwide 5G and America's best networks. Keep your own phone. Switch to a better wireless plan. Straight Talk Wireless. No contract, no compromise. For price compatible on my phone and BYOD kit, 5 device required. Actual availability known as speed may vary. See latest terms and conditions at straighttalk.com.
Taking a look at the top local sports stories with a hometown take.
On Sports Radio 92.9, The Game.
Sports Radio 92.9 The Game. Dylan Mathews live in the Kia Studios bringing you the hometown take. Before we talk about the Atlanta Braves and Spencer Strider, it is a big football day here in Atlanta and all over the country with the return of college football. And the NFL is coming back just less than a week because we do have the kickoff game on Thursday. So with that being said, football is back and you need to check out the new podcast, Cash the Ticket, to help you bet smarter on pro and college games. Cash the Ticket sets the stage for the weekend of football with some tips and tricks to help you bet confidently. It's hosted by Mike Valentine, and Jim Costa. Expect fresh perspectives on the numbers, angles, and all things football. It is the perfect podcast for football fans every Thursday and Friday on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcast. So we are almost 8.5 left to go in the third quarter. Georgia easily taking care of the Oregon Ducks. That second emphasis on easily was because Mel came in here talking about they don't look good against the Ducks. I don't know what game he's watching, but it's 35-3, so that looks good to me. It's Georgia's first game of the season too, by the way. This isn't even the final product we're going to see from the Georgia Bulldogs, but they don't look good out there. All right, whatever. I do, though, want to talk about the Atlanta Braves and Spencer Strider's role for the Braves in the postseason. We'll do that in just a second, but I do have Bobby calling from Jefferson. He's been waiting patiently, so I want to hear from Bobby. Bobby, what's on your mind this Saturday afternoon, or evening, I guess I should say, man? What's up? Between 4 and 6. Okay.
A higher level. So I try to look at it on a technical level. That's why I say 8 games. Arthur Smith going to win us 3 games by his coaching.
Okay.
This year, because I thought he won 2 games.
Agreed.
The team that we put together can win us another 5 games because the rookie that we have will come around. The whole way to win games is changing the attitude of the ball game. Because your attitude dictates your performance. You might not be the best athlete on the field, but if your attitude and your work ethic is hard, you'll win some games that way. So I'm looking at 8 this year.
All right. If we win 8 games, Bobby, I mean, we are going to be good, and we're going to turn this franchise around a lot faster than most Atlanta Falcons fans think. So, Bobby, I appreciate the phone call, man. Thanks for tuning in here on a Saturday evening. We also got Steve calling from Atlanta. Steve, what's on your mind?
Well, look at here, man. I'm one of the biggest Falcons fans in Atlanta. Besides me and Pastor Troy, we're going to win 10 to 11 games.
Oh, my. Okay, you up and Bobby.
Before I got on, it's a technical thing, but how I look at it is that the mindset is changing for one as far as the team. But you got to think about it. We won 7 games with Cordell Patterson and just Matt Ryan.
True. Okay.
Like we would all like them to expect them to perform, but it's enough to get us more than 8 games, or at least 3 more games than what we won last year. Like, we won 7 games with nothing last year. Literally, no line, no defense, Debo hurt, nothing. No quarterback rush, nothing. Now, we got these new guys who hungry. Mariota is listening. Please shut these folks' mouth, man. Go ham, please. The whole Atlanta Falcons team. Go ham. And I like to add, if I can.
Go ahead, man. There you go. You heard it, man. Appreciate the phone call, Steve. Shout out to Steve, out here doing big things by himself, putting it all together, working, building stuff up from the ground up. I respect that. So, that's why I let him get a shameless plug in. Anywho, I do have thoughts about what both of those guys said. I wanted to get Bobby and Steve on both before I reacted to what they had to say because they were waiting patiently. I love the optimism. And usually I'm the optimistic guy. And I'm not trying to not be optimistic. It's just that y'all talk about us winning 7 games last year. The main rebuttal to that is, do you guys remember who we were playing last year? Do you guys remember we played the Carolina Panthers, who were way worse than they were last year because they were trotting out Kyle Allen, and I don't even remember the other quarterbacks they were trotting out. We might have just seen Kyle Allen twice. Anywho, the Panthers are worse, or were worse. If they have Baker Mayfield and if Christian McCaffrey stays healthy, they're going to be a lot better because their defense is already good. So if they have a already good defense mixed in with a quarterback who has a way higher ceiling than what Kyle Allen or whatever quarterback we faced last year is going to be, Panthers are going to be better. You got to play them twice. We are also this year not playing the Jacksonville Jaguars, who are better this year, but they didn't have the pieces that they had even this year. We're not playing the Jacksonville Jaguars of last year. We're not playing the New York Jets. We're not playing the New York Giants. We had a far, 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 far more easier schedule last year than what we do this year. And that is the main reason why I think there's going to be a dip. It's not because of what the Falcons necessarily did or have done. I think I'm with you guys. I'm with Bobby. I'm with Steve. I'm with Mel. The football team has gotten better. You couldn't have got worse from last year. I mean, goodness, we had TJ Green on the field last year getting important snaps. That should never be a thing and on any football team if you want to win. But we have the schedule is so much tougher. We're replacing the Jaguars and the Jets. We're replacing teams like that with teams like the Chargers, the Los Angeles Rams. They're not many gimme games. You got maybe the 3 easiest weeks back to back that you have, like I alluded to, the Bears, the Commanders, the Steelers. Other than that, it's a fight. It's a fight from the get-go. New Orleans Saints, that's going to be tough. Los Angeles Rams in Los Angeles, that's going to be tough. You got the Seahawks. They're not as good of a team as what they once were. I understand that. But it's in Seattle, and you're coming off a game against the Rams. I hope it's not the case, but that could be a situation where the Rams beat you twice because that Rams game could get ugly. Then you got the Browns. They are a Super Bowl-ready roster who will just be missing their quarterback. Then you got the Buccaneers. We know what the Brady and the Bucs are about. You got the 49ers. Trey Lance is an unknown, but still, you got a Bosa brother. You got a good defense, a great offensive line, a great running game with the 49ers. And Trey Lance, I'm sure, isn't going to be terrible. We'll see. The jury's still out on Trey Lance, but that's going to be a tough game. You got the Bengals, the defending AFC champions. The Carolina Panthers, Week 8. Again, if Baker Mayfield wakes up feeling dangerous, you don't know what you're going to get from Baker. Then you got the Chargers, Super Bowl contender. The Panthers again. Then again, that softer stretch of 3 weeks where this is where you might get the bulk of your wins against the Bears, Commanders, and Steelers. And again, depending on how much of a jump Justin Fields makes, that could be a tougher game. The Commanders don't know what we're going to get out of Carson Wentz. That's a very, very good defensive team. They got Scary Terry as well on the outside. And Georgia continues to fall off and not play well as they score another touchdown. Jeez. I can't believe Mel said that again. Anywho, back to the Falcons. You got the Steelers. And Kenny Pickett could be in by that time. And who knows what they can be. They already have a good defense. TJ Watt had more sacks than we did as a team last year. Then you got the Saints again. Possible playoff team. That'll be a tough game. And that's in the Dome. That's in the other dome. It's not Mercedes-Benz anymore. The Caesar Dome, I believe it's called now. Then you got the Ravens, potential playoff team. The Cardinals, potential playoff team. Then you end the season with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and we know what they're about again. Man. And instead of doing his 4 hours of independent study that he would have had to do, he will spend those 4 hours playing Call of Duty. So that might bail out the Falcons. That's a good call there, Steven. But the point is, the schedule is way tougher. So it's not about what the Falcons did, or it's not necessarily about the Falcons roster. It's just that a lot of these teams that we're playing just straight up are better than the Falcons. And I know that's not what we all want to hear, but that's the reality. I'm going to keep it 100 with you guys on the hometown tape. Now, again, I hope we go out there and shock the world and win 10, 11 games. I just don't think that's reality. And I don't think we should get our hopes up like that, because we do have a lot of young guys. And like the callers have been saying, the trenches are going to dictate things. What is this offensive line going to look like? I talked about it. They haven't been tested yet. We saw it in Hutchinson, but we haven't seen Cam Jordan. We haven't seen the Bosa brothers. We haven't seen the Watt brothers, because we're going to see TJ Watt. We're going to see JJ Watt too, and he's not in his prime. I get all that. He's not the JJ Watt in Houston, but he's still JJ Watt. We haven't seen Trey Hendrickson yet. We haven't seen Aaron Donald yet. That offensive line hasn't seen those players yet. So, again, the offensive line hasn't been tested. And is this defensive line going to pressure quarterbacks? Because if you let Matthew Stafford sit back all day and don't pressure him, he's going to air you out. Shoot, even if you give Jameis Winston time, he can air you out. Any quarterback at this level, if you give them time, they can dissect you. They can dissect any defense. So it's about the trenches. If you guys are telling me that we're going to win 10, 11 games, 8 games, we better be not last in sacks, and we better be protected Marcus Mariota. And these rookies going to have to come around too. Arnold Ebiketie is going to have a great season. He's going to have to break the Falcons' rookie record in sacks. We're going to need to see something out of D'Angelo Malone. We're going to have to see a lot of improvement from this whole Atlanta Falcons football team if we're winning 10, 11, even 8 games. So I'm just putting it out there. I love the optimism. I hope you guys are right. But where are these wins coming from that y'all talking about? Because I see the Seahawks as a winnable game. I see the Panthers. You should probably at least split with them. I see the Bears, Commanders, Steelers. That's 5. These other games, I don't know. And again, there might be a game that you lose that you're not supposed to lose. And there might be a game that you win that you're not supposed to win. That's how the NFL season goes. But I'm seeing, again, between 4 and 6 wins. If the trenches are better, it'll go up. But what I've seen from the trenches so far, it's given between 4, 6, 7 wins at the absolute most. So we'll see. All right, moving on into hour 2 of the Hometown Take. We're going to go around the A. A lot of action happening right now and later on tonight in Atlanta sports. So we'll get all into it as we go around the A next on Sports Radio 92.9 The Game and the Hometown Take. Stay with us.
I said friend, friendship, founder, fourth. No, let me tell you what I said. And what I was thinking, when I started running out of words, you know what I said, John? Refrigerator. The lady looked at me and she started laughing, right? Oh my gosh, I cannot believe that I said refrigerator.
Johnny Q, mornings 5 till 9. Sports Radio 92.9 The Game.
In 1977, when Tommy Notice Center was founded, a gallon of gas was 65 cents and minimum wage was $2.30. Now, $2.30 doesn't go a long way today, but your cash or car donation to Tommy Notice Center does, in creating job opportunities for people with disabilities. While a lot has changed over the past 45 years, the biggest change Tommy Notice Center has made is in the lives of youth and adults with disabilities. Find out how by calling 1-866-NOVIS-AUTO or at TommyNovisCenter.org. They're coming, Atlanta. Are you going to be ready? The Ford vehicles you want are coming to Wait For. Order your vehicle today so you can secure yours when it arrives. Or shop our incredible inventory of Ford Blue Advantage certified premium vehicles for every budget. And now is the best time to trade with market values at an all-time high. We're paying more. Click WaitForAdviseCars.com. Are you ready, Atlanta? Get to Wait For now. We are Atlanta's Ford dealer.
Switch to Spectrum Mobile and get unlimited data for only $29.99 per month each when you get 2 or more lines. You can save hundreds on your mobile data. Plus, there are no added taxes, hidden fees, and no contracts. Try the Spectrum Mobile Savings Calculator today. And in 3 easy steps, you'll see how much you can save. Visit SpectrumMobile.com/save. Offer valid for new customers on 2 or more unlimited lines. Spectrum Internet required. Restrictions apply. Visit SpectrumMobile.com for details.
What up, Live? We talking about it here. I didn't even get to talk about Spencer Strider. We'll talk about it, though. Talk about Spencer. 620, 640.
Is your job recession-proof? Now might be the perfect time to switch careers and become an.
What's going on, Quentin?
With My Computer Career, IT is listed as one of the.
But yeah, I think Spencer depends on the situation. Spencer could, if it's like a 3-game series, then you really don't need him, and you could bring him out of the bullpen. So you could kind of save his arm a little bit, bring him out of the bullpen, because you can do Max, Kyle Wright, Charlie Morton. So you can save Spencer Strider. Now, in a 7-game series, you definitely got to use Spencer Strider as a starter because you're going to need more arms. So it depends on the situation. Depends on where Mike Soroka is at as well, too. Because if he's playing well and he's back up with the big club and he's pitching well, he's got, his legs under him at the big league level, you may still be able to keep him in as a Well, no, probably still not for a 7-game, but we'll see. It just kind of depends on the situation, matchup, things like that.
Imagine, before the internet, it took weeks to send a picture around the world. Today, that same picture is available instantly online. Service Titan is at the forefront of another huge leap forward in technology. Contractors are using Service Titan's powerful data-driven tools to track and improve KPIs in real time. Why wait to improve? Get a complete picture of your contracting business at ServiceTitan.com. ServiceTitan.com.
My heart was racing just making spaghetti. I could have waited to tell my doctor, but I didn't wait.
I was short of breath just reading a book. I could have delayed telling my doctor, but I didn't wait.
They told their doctors and found out they have atrial fibrillation, a condition which makes it about 5 times more likely to have a stroke. If you have one or more of these symptoms, irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness, this is no time to wait. Contact your doctor.
Brought to you by Mr. Myers Squibb and Pfizer. Q Douglas here. Starting stronger starts at AutoZone. They've got battery solutions for free battery testing, free battery charging, and replacement batteries. That's what makes them America's #1 battery destination.
The home for our Falcons. WCGC Atlanta and WCGC HD1.
Always live and free on the Odyssey app.
Taking a look at the top local sports stories with the hometown team.
On Sports Radio 92.9, The Game.
That's how you come in for hour 2. Come in powerful. Sports Radio 92.9, The Game. Dylan Mathews here, live in the Kia Studios, bringing you the hometown take. And guys, make sure you get all the NFL news you need. That's on the Odyssey podcast, First and Pod. Danny Parkins from Chicago, and Andrew Filipponi from Pittsburgh bring you the latest takes from some of the most passionate NFL cities in the country. Parkins and Pony are best friends, separated by 500 miles, but united by their love of pro football. Give them 40 minutes, and they'll give you the league. The first episode drops Thursday, September 1st. So actually already dropped. It dropped Thursday, September 1st. So follow First and Pod on the free Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcast. Well, we have got a barn burner here. Nah, I can't even say a barn burner. Let's actually rephrase that. Use a different B word. A blowout here in Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Georgia up 42-3 on the Oregon Ducks. And I'm still waiting for the fall off of UGA. I'll wait. I was told it was coming. I was told they haven't been playing well, yet they are up 42-3. So I will patiently wait. So while we wait for the fall off of UGA, let's go around the end. Just talked about it. Georgia blowing out the Oregon Ducks 42-3. Stetson Bennett has been great thus far. 25 of 31, 368 yards through the air, 2 touchdowns. Kendall Milton, the leading rusher right now, 5 carries, 38 yards, a touchdown. And Kenny McIntosh doing his thing, 9 receptions, 117 yards as well. And Ladd McConkey has himself 2 touchdowns as well. So the Bulldogs doing their thing, and they are routing the Oregon Ducks 42-3. You guys wanted to see Stetson Bennett throw it around. He's throwing it around, and he's doing it quite well. And that's big. And here, Carson Beck is in. But, we aren't playing well. We're playing well enough to put the backup quarterback in. But, again, I was told we aren't playing well. I was told we're falling off, all that good stuff. Jeez. Adonai Mitchell also got himself a touchdown as well on the receiving end. And Georgia with 4 rushing touchdowns. Stetson Bennett got him a rushing touchdown. Kenny McIntosh has 1. Like I said, Ladd McConkey has 1. Kendall Milton has a rushing touchdown as well. 99 rushing yards right now for the Georgia Bulldogs as a team on 18 carries, 25 receptions, 368 yards as a whole receiving. And Malachi Starks and Christopher Smith with a pair of interceptions. Christopher Smith had a nice hit on an Oregon Duck as well. Bo Nix connected with him on a deep pass, but Christopher Smith hit him right where the ball was, jarred it out, and made it an incompletion. So good defensive play there by Christopher Smith on top of his interception as well. So Georgia has this thing in hand. Carson Beck is in now 42-3. It is only a matter of time with this game as Georgia looks like they're going to go on to an easy victory. The Atlanta Braves going to try and take game 2 from the Miami Marlins. Jake Odorizzi, as I mentioned earlier, a late scratch from this game. So Bryce Elder was called up to the big league club, and he's going to take his place tonight as the starter. And last night, I hope the Braves saved some runs for tonight, because last night the bats were popping, and Travis d'Arnaud capped things off with his second home run of the night, put the dagger in the Marlins to make it 8-1. Here's how it sounded. So it is Bryce Elder versus Edward Cabrera. Cabrera 4-2 on the year, 2.45 ERA, 44 innings pitched thus far, 48 strikeouts, 22 walks, giving up 4 home runs. So 2 inexperienced guys kind of going up against each other. Cabrera, like I said, only 44 innings pitched. Bryce Elder obviously hasn't seen a lot of time with the big league club this year. Only 28 1/3 innings pitched, 1-3 record, 4.45 ERA, 24 strikeouts, 17 walks, has given up 3 home runs. So hopefully Bryce Elder can have a good outing against the Marlins. Hopefully the Braves bats keep going like they were last night. I mean, everybody got in the mix. Vaughn Grissom hit a home run. Money Mike hit a home run. Austin Riley hit another home run. So, and Travis d'Arnaud obviously hit 2 as the Braves got an 8-1 victory last night. Hopefully they do more of the same tonight. Atlanta United is also looking to bounce back tomorrow. But again, this match, it doesn't have any further playoff implications for the Five Stripes, rather than, obviously, you need the points. You need all the points you can get as Atlanta United is trying to make a playoff push. But as far as like head-to-head matchups, games in hand, this doesn't necessarily impact Atlanta United too much, as they're facing a Western Conference opponent in the Portland Timbers. But still, a game Atlanta United wants to at least get a tie. You at least want to get something from this road trip. You don't want to come back from this road trip getting no points. So I think if they get a point, good. That's okay. Obviously, you want to get a win, need the 3 points. So we'll see what Atlanta United can do against the Portland Timbers. 2 teams that have kind of been floating in mediocrity this season. Portland Timbers right on the cusp of the playoff line. They're in 7th on the Western Conference table. Atlanta United obviously sitting outside of the Eastern Conference table right now in 11th with 33 points. But they're only 3 points behind the 7th place Inter Miami squad. So we'll see if they can help the cause tomorrow and see if they can get back to the playoff push as we get Atlanta United broadcast tomorrow. The Falcons, again, we've been talking a lot about the Falcons, and I was supposed to talk about Spencer Strider last segment, and you guys got me so hyped up on the Falcons and them winning 10, 11, 8 games. I forgot all about showing Spencer Strider some love. But I think as far as the Falcons go, again, where are the wins coming from, guys? Who are they beating? They're going to beat the Rams? They're going to beat the Cincinnati Bengals? I hope they do. But a lot has to go right for the Atlanta Falcons to get these wins. Again, I'm seeing 6 at the most. That's if you sweep Carolina in the season series. You beat Chicago, Washington, and Pittsburgh back-to-back, and beat Seattle. So, again, we'll see. I'm just not sure where the 10, maybe 11 wins are coming from. Because, again, I need to see a lot of improvement from the offensive line and the defensive line. Because I think we got the skill players. I don't think that's a problem. It's going to come down to the trenches. How well can we protect Marcus Mariota? How well can we sack the quarterback? That's what it all boils down to. If we protect Marcus Mariota well, and if we sack the quarterback a lot more times than we did last year, then okay. Then maybe 7-8 wins is in the question. Maybe you can start to think about that then. But I got to see that first before I'm saying they get 7-8 double-digit wins even. I just don't see it right now. I don't see how that happens with what I've seen on the field thus far. But, again, I hope I'm wrong. I hope we get 10, 11 wins and we're pushing for a playoff spot. I hope you guys are right. I'm just not seeing it right now. And, the schedule is tough. We're playing teams that were in the Super Bowl. We're playing both Super Bowl teams. We're playing a team that was in the – and they weren't in the – yes, they were in the NFC Championship game. The 49ers were in the NFC Championship game last year, right? Yes. We're seeing a team that was in the NFC Championship as well. Another playoff team in our division in the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. A team that, if their quarterback didn't get hurt in Jameis Winston, they could have made the playoffs in the New Orleans Saints. A team that almost made the playoffs last year in the Los Angeles Chargers, and that got a lot better with Khalil Mack, added him to the squad, J.C. Jackson. They got Justin Herbert, Keenan Allen, Austin Eckler, Mike Williams. A Super Bowl contending team in the Los Angeles Chargers. And we got a lot of teams that we don't exactly know what we're going to get. They're toss-up games. Again, don't know what Baker Mayfield's going to look like. How good are the Chicago Bears going to be? Not very good, but are they going to be good enough to compete with us? What are we going to see from Carson Wentz in Washington? In Week 13, are we going to see Mitch Trubisky or Kenny Pickett? And how good are one of those two guys going to be playing? There are a lot of factors in this schedule. Teams could be better or they could be worse than when we actually see them, to what we think about them right now. So we'll see, but I'm just not sure where all those wins are coming from. Again, I want to be optimistic. I want to hope that you guys are right. Just don't see it right now. And Georgia doesn't miss a beat. Kendall Milton, 18-yard receiving touchdown. But, again, Georgia's falling off. We almost put a 50-burger up on Oregon. We're 2 points away from putting a 50-burger up on Oregon, but we're falling off, and they aren't playing well. Okay. Sure thing. Whatever you guys say. Anywho, I want to tell you guys, speaking of the Georgia Bulldogs, football is back. So check out the new podcast, Cash the Ticket, to help you bet smarter on pro and college games. Cash the Ticket sets the stage for the weekend of football with some tips and tricks to help you bet confidently. Hosted by Mike Valentine and Jim Costa, expect fresh perspectives on the numbers, angles, and all things football. It is the perfect podcast for football fans. It's every Thursday and Friday on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts. We're moving along here on the Hometown Take. Since you guys got me all fired up on the Atlanta Falcons and the Georgia Bulldogs, I forgot to do my Spencer Strider segment. I got caught up. We're going to circle back, and we're going to talk about where Spencer Strider belongs in this Braves postseason pitching rotation. Is he a starter? Does he belong in the bullpen? I don't think the answer is black and white. I don't think it's a yes-no question. We'll talk about it. It is Sports Radio 92.9, The Game, the Hometown Take, live in the Kia Studios, hosted by yours truly, Dylan Mathews. We'll be back. We're talking some Braves. Sports Radio 92.9, The Game, and the Odyssey app. Oh.
All the action all season long as we bring you some of the best matchups this season, as well as Super Bowl 57.
Thursday night football is back as the Buffalo Bills travel to Los Angeles to take on the Rams. Receive at 7:30, kickoff at 8:30.
Catch all the action here. The NFL plays here.
On Westwood One's Thursday night football.
Sports Radio 92.9. The Game.
Shop now at Dick's Sporting Goods for the hottest apparel and footwear from the best brands like Nike, Adidas Originals, The North Face, Hoka, and more. The latest equipment in football, soccer, basketball, golf, and more. Use your scorecard and earn triple points for every purchase. And if you find a lower price, we'll match with our best price guarantee. Shop everything you need today in store or online at Dick's.com and get your gear fast with free curbside pickup. Every season starts at Dick's. Terms and conditions apply. See Dick's.com for details.
Hey, it's Gil from Priority Men's Medical Center. I want to talk to you man-to-man about erectile dysfunction and PE. The physicians at Priority Men's Medical Center offer custom-blended medications that have men lasting 90 minutes or longer regardless of age or medical history. See results on first visit guaranteed when your exam is free. Now, if Viagra, Cialis, or Levitra have let you down, call now. 404-239-2153. That's 404-239-2153.
The following is a commercial announcement. Your local radio stations are here for you. No subscriptions or monthly fees necessary. We're here to give you the news, weather, and traffic you need, and the music you love. But if the foreign-owned record labels get their way, it could stop the music. They want Congress to force radio stations to pay them more money, simply to play their music. Don't let radio go silent. Text local to 52886 and tell Congress to protect local radio stations. This message furnished by the National Association of Broadcasters.
Culver's could have only started in Wisconsin. Just ask our team member Sarah.
When you order a Culver's Butterburger, you're never just a customer. You're a guest in our home. See, where we come from, people do right by each other. It's why we cook each Butterburger to order just for you, right down to getting the perfect sear on the meat. That extra care would be a small time thing, but it's big time important to us.
Come on in and let us serve you with a smile that stretches from our hometown to yours. Welcome to Delicious. Another reason Culver's could have only started in Wisconsin from our team member Nick.
Oh, yeah, that's an easy one. Wisconsin is the biggest state, so naturally, Culver's is...
I had to get some water, y'all. I was struggling. What up, Raymond?
It's match or batch. Made in heaven. Come have a taste of Wisconsin. Welcome to Delicious.
Diabetes,
Facts. That's facts, Raymond. Don't matter where you come out of, you're going to be good either way. That's for sure.
Big Blue will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, overweight, or high blood pressure. Providers help thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance. To buy $1 million of affordable term life for you, all you need to do is call Big Blue at 800-200-1966. Blue will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-200-1966. Big Blue will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Blue's like you. He's on meds. Call 800-200-1966. 800-200-1966.
Get a $1,000 bonus on the 3-row 2022 Acura MDX during Acura's Summer of Performance. That's right, $1,000 in down payment assistance on select 2022 MDX models. GeorgiaAcuraDealers.com.
Sports Radio 929 The Game Studios, joined by Kia, the official sponsor of the Atlanta Falcons Radio Network.
Nachos! Yeah, nachos! Hey, I'll take some. Great. And some Frank's Red Hot. Oh, nah. Good. No! You're just gonna eat these dry, plain, boring nachos with no Franks. Seriously? Frank it up. Frank it up. Come on, lady. Frank it up. Frank it up. Frank it up. Yeah! And this guy finally gets it. Yeah, look, we're on the Jumbotron.
It's the perfect blend of flavor and heat. Frank's Red Hot. High protection on everything.
You can't get much for $5 these days, unless you go to Wendy's for a $5 piggy bag. Get your choice of double stack, junior bacon cheeseburger, or crispy chicken BLT, plus 4-piece nugs, fries, and a drink. All for $5. That was smooth, wasn't it? That's how you're gonna feel when you get that piggy bag at Wendy's.
Taking a look at the top local sports stories with a hometown take.
On Sports Radio 92.9, The Game.
Sports Radio 92.9 The Game, live in the Kia Studios. It is the hometown take with yours truly, Dylan Mathews. Make sure you follow the radio station at 929 The Game on all social media platforms. You can follow myself at _Dylan Mathews on the Twitter machine. I am also on Instagram if you want to follow me there at _Dylan Mathews as well, on YouTube as well at Dylan Mathews, DylanMathews. If you don't know, now you know. Also, if you didn't know, all the NFL news you need is on the new Odyssey podcast, First in Pod. Danny Parkins from Chicago and Andrew Filipponi from Pittsburgh bring you the latest takes from some of the most passionate NFL cities in the country. Parkins and Pony are best friends separated by 500 miles, but united in their love of pro football. So give them 40 minutes and they'll give you the league. The first episode dropped Thursday, September 1st, so follow First in Pod on the free Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcast. Again, it is the hometown take here on Sports Radio 92.9 The Game. And, the Georgia Bulldogs, they definitely don't have a chance to go back to the college football playoff or repeat. Nope. They are having a tough time with the Oregon Ducks. I mean, it is 49-3. I'm obviously being sarcastic because apparently from Mel, he says the Georgia Bulldogs haven't played well. I heard from a lot of people that Georgia Bulldogs are supposed to fall off. So you don't have the historic defense. Okay. Defense is still pretty darn good, and they showed that today. So this game is over. I'm going to go ahead and declare over. It is still a lot of time left in the fourth quarter, but with a 49-3 deficit, the Oregon Ducks are staring at. This game is all but a matter of time before it goes final, and the Georgia Bulldogs win their first game of the 2022 season. So if you want to react to the Georgia win, you can call me up, 404-741-0929, as there's 11:50 and running left to go in the final frame in Mercedes-Benz Stadium. So if you want to react to what you saw today in Georgia versus Oregon, call me up, 404-741-0929. You can tweet at me too at _Dylan Mathews as well. We can talk about some dogs. But right now, I do want to talk about the Atlanta Braves because you guys got me so fired up on this nonsense about the Georgia Bulldogs falling off and not playing well. And you guys got me a little riled up on the Falcons too. And again, I love the optimism about the Falcons, but just don't know where 8, 10, 11 wins are coming from. So there you go. But the Atlanta Braves, this is a team that I think everybody knows will be in the playoffs, has a chance to repeat as World Series champions, and they have a lot of good options right now as far as the lineup goes and the pitching rotation. So good that we may be able to move one of our young phenoms, Rookie of the Year candidates, because it seems like we got a lot of those running around in Atlanta. Spencer Strider, where does he belong? And you can call up right now for this segment if you want to as well. Also remember, next segment, last segment, Grillin' Dylan. You can talk about the dogs. You can talk about the Braves. Whatever you want to talk about, we'll do it in Grillin' Dylan. You can tweet me your questions at _Dylan Mathews, or we'll open up the phone lines. You can call me there, 404-741-0929. But Spencer Strider, where does he belong? Does he need to be in the bullpen when the playoffs roll around? Does he need to be a starter? I don't think it's a clear answer. I think it depends on the matchup, and I think it depends on what round of the playoffs we were in. If it's a best of 3, there's no reason, unless Spencer Strider is just on a complete tear, which he is right now. I mean, last outing he did have a Braves record 16 strikeouts in 8 innings pitched. So if he remains on this complete tear, then okay. Maybe you say, instead of Morton, I maybe rest Morton in a quick 5-game series, best of 5. Maybe for these 3 games, I go Max Fried, Kyle Wright, Spencer Strider. Or maybe you say Kyle Wright and say I'll go Fried, Morton, Strider in some order. Obviously, we know Fried is first, but you can kind of pick and choose between. Probably break it down on matchups a little bit whether you go Spencer or Morton, if that's where you decide to go. I believe, though, I am of the opinion that if it's a best of 3, you bring Strider out of the bullpen. Because, and obviously, this is no shade or this is no knock on the bullpen, but the Atlanta Braves bullpen hasn't been as automatic as they were in the postseason run. And nobody expected them to be. I did not expect them to be, but it's just a fact. They have not been as automatic as they were in that postseason run. And maybe they can get back to that form when it comes to the postseason. But Tyler Mathews has had some shaky outings. AJ Minter has had some shaky outings. You could argue Kenley Jansen lost us both of those St. Louis Cardinal games back a few games. He blew 2 saves in a row, I believe it was. Minter was the other one. Excuse me. Thank you, Steven. But that's the point. The bullpen has been shaky. You can solidify that bullpen a little bit more if you bring in a guy like Spencer Strider, who's throwing 100+ miles an hour off the bench. So in a 3-game series, you got Max Fried being the ace that he is for 6-7 innings. And then what if you bring in Spencer Strider to get you to Kenley Jansen? Or hey, even if you want to, you could have Spencer Strider close it out if the Braves put up a whole bunch of runs. At that point, you probably bring in some, I don't want to say lesser, but you probably bring in some other arms like maybe a Jackson Stevens or guys like that. Anywho, I think if it is a 3-game series, I think you bring in Spencer Strider out of the bullpen. You save, and I know, I get it. Chris said it when we were doing crosstalk with the other side of the glass. I know Alex Anthopoulos came on Dukes and Bell. It was a great interview, and he said that Spencer Strider is not on an innings limit. Even though Spencer Strider is not on an innings limit, that does not necessarily mean you don't try to save him from all of the innings that he has to pitch. If you can save his arm where you can. And I think you can do that in a 3-game series because I think you can easily go Fried, Wright, and then Morton and bring Spencer Strider out of the bullpen when necessary. Because, you have Max Fried pitching, then you go from Fried to Spencer Strider or Kyle Wright to Spencer Strider. Just having Spencer Strider, a weapon like Spencer Strider, out of the bullpen is a great, great, great option to have if you were the Atlanta Braves. So I think for a 3-game series, I think it's actually a pretty easy decision to bring Spencer Strider out of the bullpen. You can save his arm a little bit. He will have dynamic stuff, and he only needs to go, 2, maybe 3 innings max. 3 innings, he's going to be throwing 100-mile-per-hour gas at you. And he had his, we saw that, I think it was a slider working very well in that game where he had 16 strikeouts. So I don't see why you wouldn't want to bring Spencer Strider out of the bullpen because he is at the point where he has never pitched this many innings in his career. And even though he's not on the innings limit, save his arm where you can. Why not? We still got a good ways to go because, again, this team has got a postseason run in them, a deep postseason run, hopefully. And you want to save them as much as you can. So in a 3-game series, bring him out of the bullpen. Now, when we get to, hopefully, the NLCS and the World Series, hopefully, then okay. I think he needs to be a starter. I think he needs to be a starter in a best-of-7. You need Max Fried. You need Kyle Wright. You need Charlie Morton. You need Spencer Strider. You need all the arms you can get. So he definitely needs to be a starter for a best-of-7. And again, depending on where Mike Soroka is too, we have to think about that. Mike Soroka, if he is pitching well at the major league level, again, he's still with AAA Gwinnett right now. But if he is pitching well at the major league level, and he does look like he can pitch meaningful innings for you and throw 5, 6 solid innings for you and be a starter and be another arm, maybe you could even possibly look at him being in the bullpen, Spencer Strider, that is, being in the bullpen in a best-of-7 series because then you have Max Fried, Kyle Wright, Charlie Morton, Mike Soroka, Again, I think no matter what, he needs to be a starter in a best of 7 because at worst, you have 5 good starting pitchers you can throw out. But again, you can make the debate. You can make the argument that Spencer Strider could come out of the bullpen if, again, this is a big if Mike Soroka is healthy and playing well. Again, we don't know if that's going to be the case. We don't even know. Mike Soroka hasn't even made it up to the big league ball club yet, so we don't want to get ahead of ourselves. We don't want to put eggs in our basket before the eggs even hatch or whatever the saying is. I know I just completely botched that saying, but you get what I'm saying. So where do you think Spencer Strider belongs when it comes postseason time for the Atlanta Braves? In the bullpen or as a starter? 447410929. Let's go to Jody. He's calling from Peachtree City. What's on your mind, Jody, man? What's going on, brother? How you feeling? Craziness. Oh, come on. All right, hold on. All right, Jody, have a great one. Again, these people are running, man. I have rebuttals. Goodness. Anyways, Jody, I hope you're still listening because obviously I know there is no best of 3. What I mean is your 3 starters, the first 3 starters in a best of 5, because guess what, Jody? In a 5-game series, you could end it in 3 games. You could win 3 games in a row, and that ends the series because it's the first one to win 3 games. So you could have Max Fried, Kyle Wright, and then Charlie Morton win you 3 games in a row, and then you don't have to worry about starting Spencer Strider. That's what I meant, my friend. And also, did you really just say Max Fried has not been the Braves' best pitcher? What are we talking about? Max Fried is clearly the Braves' ace. He went out in a World Series clinching game and pitched a gem. Nearly got his ankle broken and pitched the gem after that. He went in a New York Mets game not too long ago and pitched a gem in a game you had to win. That was a must-win game for the Atlanta Braves, and Max Fried brought his best stuff. Dude is a gamer. He has shown you time and time again why he is your ace. So anybody, not just Jody, anybody in Atlanta, Timbuktu, Kalamazoo, I don't care where you're from, anybody that thinks Max Fried is not the ace of the Atlanta Braves, you're delusional. I'll have whatever you're having because you got something strong. Max Fried is clearly the Braves' ace. Kyle Wright has been dominant. Spencer Strider has been dominant, but they are both not the ace that Max Fried is. Spencer Strider throws gas, yes, but if we're being honest, Spencer Strider has 2 pitches. He's got 2. He's got a fastball. He's got a slider that he just got, really. Max Fried has a repertoire of pitches. You understand me? He's got multiple pitches. Spencer Strider will develop to that. I'm not saying that to knock Spencer Strider. I'm just letting you know where Spencer Strider is and where Max Fried is. As far as pitching goes and stuff, Spencer Strider has probably one of the best fastballs in the MLB. That's not to debate. But as far as stuff goes and multiple pitches to go to, Max Fried has him beat by a mile. So I don't want to hear any of that crap, Jody. There is no reason anybody should be saying Max Fried's not our ace. Kyle, all right, almost leading the league in wins. I get that. But some of that is not all on the pitcher. Some of that is about run support. You got to think about that too. Ian Anderson has some wins he shouldn't have because he's got the most run support when it comes to his starts this season. So that's just crazy. And then again, you can start Max Free, who's your ace. He's starting game 1 in any postseason series. You can miss me with all that. He's starting game 1 in any series for the Braves. Kyle Wright probably going game 2. Maybe Charlie Morton, depending on if you want to go experience or not. Kyle Wright, I think, is the better option because he has been the better pitcher than Charlie Morton. And then you probably go Charlie Morton to close it out. He's got the experience. Spencer Strider, you can make the argument he can go over Morton because Morton's been up and down. Strider's been more consistent. But you can't sit here and tell me Max Free's not that. Man, y'all trying to get me fired up today. Oh, I love it, though. I love it. All right. When we come back, Grill and Dylan, call me up. If you want to talk about Braves, we can keep talking about Spencer Strider and where he belongs in the Braves postseason rotation. In the bullpen, the starter, where does he belong? You can ask me about that. You can let me know what your Falcons record prediction is. Anything you want to ask me, we talk about it in Grill and Dylan. And that's next on Sports Radio, 92.9 The Game and the Odyssey app. Yeah, they have to. I thought it was a one. Is it 3 games? Or I thought that was a 1 game. Oh, he changed to a 3-game series? Oh, okay. They might have changed that because I feel like I did hear about that. Because I know it used to be a 1-game playoff type thing. They might have changed it, yeah. Oh, okay. So yeah.
Switch to Spectrum Mobile and get unlimited data for only $29.99 per month each and you get 2 more lines. You can save hundreds on your mobile.
So what happens to the third wildcard team? Because isn't there 3 wildcard teams?
Try the Spectrum Mobile Savings Calculator today.
Oh, okay. I got you.
See how much you can save. Visit SpectrumMobile.com/save.
Okay.
Offer valid for new customers on 2 or more lines. Spectrum Internet required. Restrictions apply. Visit SpectrumMobile.com for details.
Everyone knows how beneficial therapy can be. Traditional therapy can be overwhelming, confusing, and inconvenient. When scheduling in-person therapy, it can be difficult to find the right therapist near you, and it can take weeks to get on their calendar. We knew there had to be a better way, and that's where BetterHelp began. I'm Danny, co-founder of BetterHelp for Online Therapy. When Alana and I started BetterHelp in 2015, our mission was simple: find a way to make professional therapy accessible, affordable, and convenient for everyone. BetterHelp works around your schedule and lifestyle. You can connect your therapist by phone, video call, or even text message. You don't even have to turn on your camera if you don't feel comfortable. If your therapist is today, you can switch anytime with a click of a button. Because BetterHelp is designed with you in mind. See why over 2 million members have trusted BetterHelp for online therapy. Go to BetterHelp.com/YouFirst and get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp.com/YouFirst for 10% off your first month.
Did you know that rubies and sapphires are a gem variety of the same mineral? What's the distinction? Rubies are red. Sapphires encompass all the other colors. I'm Tom Shane. At Shane Company, we offer natural rubies and over a dozen colors of natural sapphires, including blue, yellow, green, and pastel colors like lavender and pink. I fly to Bangkok to buy them. Traveling to the gemstone capital of the world allows me to examine each stone individually and only choose those that are full of fire and light. The run of its beauty, the brilliance within the stone. I then have each stone expertly recut by our Bangkok team of full-time stone cutters to maximize its inherent beauty. We have the largest selection of rubies and sapphires in town. Visit us and see for yourself. Now you have a friend in the jewelry business. Shane Company and ShaneCo.com.
It's time to grow together. Let's go see something new.
Thank you.
Let's go capture moments together. Wherever you go, enjoy a cleaner running engine with Citgo's top-tier dry clean gasoline. Citgo, let's go together.
nice truck.
Yeah, check this out. I changed it to remind me of my time at sea.
Working in the Air Force?
Yeah, but I really love the ocean. You could save and get $200 with Navy Federal Credit Union when you refinance your auto loans from another lender, leaving you with extra to spend on other things. Navy Federal Credit Union. Our members are
Is there somebody on after me? Oh, no, we're going college football after this. Yeah. That's right. Yeah. So, yeah, I'll do I'll go to like 51 or 52 here and then come back and do like a little short thing. And then, yeah.
Look at the top local sports stories with the hometown team.
On Sports Radio 92.9, The Game.
This song is appropriate because anybody that bet on Oregon, and I hope they didn't bet no Georgia fans because y'all better have their money because y'all definitely lost the bet. It is 49-3 with 2:20 left to go. Oregon might get a pity touchdown here as we're in the final couple of minutes before Georgia officially secures this win. So if you want to call up 404-741-0929 and react to the Georgia-Oregon game, you can do that. Kirby Smart still coaching hard. I love that. 4th and goal right now. Let's see if they can hold Oregon to no touchdown and just 3 points. I think that's a nice little side goal. You know how like if you play a video game and you got side quests, you accomplish the main goal. You beat the campaign because you won the game. Now it's a nice little side quest, a little side mission after you beat the campaign to hold Oregon to 3 points and not let them score a touchdown. Good side quest here for Georgia. So 90 seconds left. We'll see if they get that done before we sign off here. Coming up next is Notre Dame, Ohio State. We are bringing that to you, and no good. So Georgia going to hold Oregon to 3 points. So the final here is going to be 49-3. There you go. Hey, Oregon fans, y'all better have Georgia fans' money. Y'all better have their money. So Georgia going to get the 49-3 win again. If you want to react, you can call up now, 404-741-0929. It is now time for the part of the program we call Grillin' Dylan. You can ask me about anything. If you want to ask me a question about Georgia Oregon, you can do that now. If you want to ask me a question about Spencer Strider and the Braves, who we'll talk about here more in a second, anything you want to talk about, we'll do it right now in Grillin' Dylan. And Jackson, calling from Marietta, is up first. How's it going, Jackson? I'm doing well, man. How are you? Yes, sir. Okay, let's do it. Yeah. Ooh. Okay, I like that. Now, Jackson, I appreciate the phone call. The only slight rebuttal I have to that is that they do have experienced postseason pitchers. Obviously, Max Scherzer, he's been around the block. He was with the Dodgers last season. Now, I ain't scared of the Mets, but I'm saying, as far as them folding and them metting, I hope we see them in the playoffs so we can beat them. That'll be sweet. But I don't know if they necessarily will fold. We'll have to earn it. It'll be well-deserved and well-earned if we beat them in the postseason or if we win the division and beat them out in the division. Because we still got 3 games left against the New York Mets in the second-to-last series of the regular season. So I don't think the Mets are going to Met. I hope they do. They still have a chance to. But as far as them getting to the postseason, if and when, because they'll get to the postseason in either division or wild card, with Scherzer, DeGrom, I mean, those are two guys you love rolling out, guys with postseason experience. So I don't know if they're going to fold. The rest of the team maybe could because of their lack of postseason experience. But as far as those two guys are concerned, maybe not. And then obviously you got the closer coming out of the bullpen to finish the game off. I think he's solid too. So I don't know if they'll fold then. And let's stay on the Braves here for a second because I ain't done with my rant about Max Fried and what Jody said. Come on, Jody. You can't come in here with that nonsense. And I'm tired of y'all ducking me. If you go call and you go come up with a hot take like that, let me rebuttal. I'm going to keep you on the line so I can ask you some questions. I got to ask you some follow-ups because I need answers. You can't just come on here, whispering away your hot takes and spewing off your hot takes and then dipping on me. You got to stick around because I got questions. You can't just come up on here, say whatever, spew your propaganda, and then leave. That's not how it works on the Hometown Take. You will come up in here hot takey with some nonsense, and you kind of have to answer to me. Okay, let's make one thing clear. So, Max Fried is clearly our ace. Spencer Strider has been good, but I don't even think he's been as good as Kyle Wright. If we're talking who have been the best pitchers, starting pitchers for the Braves thus far, it is Max Fried, it is Kyle Wright, it is Spencer Strider. Now, all three of those guys have had points where they may have been hotter or a little bit, performing a little bit better than one another at certain points of the season. We all have our ebbs and flows through the season. But if we're talking, who do we want in a game one of the NLCS, the World Series, whatever playoff game, it is undoubtedly Max Fried. And if your answer is it Max Fried, you're wrong. I'm sorry. You just are wrong. And then Steven brought something up to my attention as well, too. It was a good point. There is actually a 3-game series this year because we do have a wild card series. It is not, and the game officially, by the way, going final, Georgia beats Oregon 49-3. So Georgia Bulldogs, once again, they're on their way to their fall off, a point away from putting the 50 burger up on the 11th ranked team in the nation, but we're falling off. We didn't play well, only gave up 3 points, even though we lost so many pieces on defense, which we did, but this defense was going to fall off so hard. But 49-3, okay, sure, whatever you say, folks. Anywho, we do have a wild card series this year. There's no more just one game playoff for the wild card. It is a best of 3. It's like a regular series, like most regular season series, best of 3. So you can have it to where it is just going to be Max Fried, Kyle Wright, and Charlie Morton. And again, I listen to the argument and I hear the argument of putting Strider in over Morton. I just think for Charlie Morton experience, I just like him better in a postseason situation, at least this year. Once Strider gets some postseason experience this year, then okay, we can talk about that a little bit more. But right now, Spencer Strider has zilch, none. He has 0 innings pitched of postseason experience. Charlie Morton has a lot more than that. So if we're talking postseason this year, give me Charlie Morton starting over Spencer Strider. So if you got to win a wild card series, and that is only a 3-game series, I want to see Max Fried, Kyle Wright, and Charlie Morton as the starters. I know Charlie Morton's been up and down. I understand all that, but I still like his experience in the postseason. Now, in a best of 7, maybe even a best of 5, I still think in the best of 5 you can afford to bring him out of the bullpen, but a best of 7, I definitely think you need Strider as a starter. So there you go. Whew, man, you guys really got me fired up today, but I like it, though. I like it. So we got Ohio State and Notre Dame coming up next here on Sports Radio 92.9 The Game. Again, got a couple more minutes left here for Grill and Dylan. If you want to get a question in, 447-410-929 is how you reach me. And again, Falcons too. We got to check out our poll here and see how our poll ended. Let me go to our poll real quick and see where the rest of everybody. We know where Bobby and Steve are at. They think the Falcons are going to win 9 or 8, 10, 11 games this year. But I want to see where the rest of you guys' heads are at when it comes to the Atlanta Falcons. So, as we go here, let me go ahead and vote. I'll say 5. So, final results in the poll here. 29.7. This is actually a very close poll. 29.7% is the winner at 4 or less. 20.6% of you said 5 games, though. We had 25.8% say 6, and 23.9% at third place, coming in at 7+. So I love the optimism. Again, just tell me who we're beating, because a lot has to happen to beat teams like the Rams, the Bengals, the 49ers. A lot has to go right. The trenches got to be a lot better. Offense, obviously, we got to – Brian Edwards is going to have a breakout season then. Kyle Pitts is obviously going to have a great season. He's going to be a lot better in the red zone. So a lot has to go right if you guys are telling me we're winning 7+ games. All right. We're going to come back and get you ready for Notre Dame, Ohio State. Another good matchup and a great day of college football. Georgia wins it 49-3. We'll get you ready for Notre Dame, Ohio State, as we close out the Hometown Take next here on Sports Radio 92.9 The Game and the Odyssey app.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Here's what no recovery, no fee means at our firm. First, your initial consultation is absolutely free. Next, we understand that most people don't have the money to pay hourly attorney's fees, so you only pay us a percentage of your recovery if we win. Finally, there are expenses and organizations as well. If we make no recovery, you don't owe these either. Visit forthepeople.com for more information. No charge there either.
Meet Harper, teammate at Truist. Hello. She was born to care and always had your back. Like the time her friend's bumper car took a gnarly hit. Oh no! His retainer went flying, but Harper caught it before it got crushed. Today, Harper's a teammate at Truist, the bank with Truist One checking. With no overdraft